they should stick with their diversified portfolio. Actually, if you are in a market where the stock market is going up and down and up and down, the professional advice is to rebalance. Then you're selling when the market is up because you started 60-40, but now it's 70-30, stocks versus bonds, and you should buy, when the market goes down. The amount that you make extra by rebalancing isn't so great that if it's going to bother you, going to keep you up night, if it's inconvenient, don't bother. Just stick with your 60-40 or whatever you had. When you add new money, you should be mindful of whether you're overweighted with stocks or underweighted with stocks, and then fill in the gap as you invest. There's a wonderful book called Extraordinary Popular Delusions and the Madness of Crowds by McKay. It was written, I think, somewhere in the 1850s. And it was talking about the South Sea bubble and the tulip mania. Bernard Baruch read this book in the late 1920s, and he decided that the stock market in the late 1920s was a bubble, and he shorted the market. I don't have enough courage to short the market, because the market could go up and you could be wiped out in the short run, even though you're right in the long run. But in the late 1990s, my chiropractor kept telling me about the wonderful hot tips that his patients were giving him, and how much money he was making in the late 1990s with these wonderful .com. So I gave him a copy of, Extraordinary Popular Delusions and the Madness of Crowds. And come 2000, 2001, he would say, "Harry, I really should. I read the book. It was a lot of fun, but I didn't pay any attention. I really should." So the answer is, well, it's a part of human nature and the cycle. Think about what happens. Let's suppose we pick up the cycle where things have been pretty good, for a while, and people are making money by putting money into stocks. And so you put more money into stocks, which makes the stocks go up faster, and which causes more people to go into the market, which causes the things to go up faster still, or go into mortgages or whatever it is. And everybody sees that their uncle or their cousin or their neighbor is making money, so they don't want to miss out, so they put the money in. And then the last guy in, sort of is like it's like nature's own Ponzi scheme. Once you run out of new investors, the thing starts down, and now everybody realizes they're in a highly risky thing, so they start selling fast. It goes down faster than goes up, and it crashes down to the bottom. Everybody says, the sky is falling. It's the end of capitalism, and then things wait, and things start to get a little better and better and better, and we're off and running again. But there were maybe 2 or 3 main contributors, and I'm not going to be able to maybe sort out which came first and which came second. They're all sort of working together. One was Congress had the objective of getting everybody into houses, whether they could afford it or not. This was called the Community Reinvestment Act. And month after month, and once a month at least, the Wall Street Journal would have an editorial saying, Barney Frank, if you keep doing this, you're going to get us into big trouble. And as a result of the Community Reinvestment Act, Fannie Mae in particular, and the banks in general, were told they had to create lots and lots of what we now call subprime mortgages. The banks didn't want to hold on to this stuff. They were getting paid to generate it, so they would sell it on to somebody who would combine them into CMOs, collateralized mortgaged obligations. Now, if you have a mortgage in which you have no money down, that's already infinitely leveraged, And now if you put that into a CMO, collateralized mortgage obligation, and add leverage, and then you take tranches, slices of that, and send it off to places that make CDOs, collateralized debt obligations, and pretty soon the structure is so complicated that nobody understands what's going on. So when the house of cards came crashing down, it was a big crash.